I know you can hear me. We are here waiting. Welcome to the W number.
Preparing for takeoff. Preparing for takeoff.
Oh shit! Whoops, wrong one.
Feedback loop. There we are.
Oh, hey, there we are. John's paying for the parking meter right now. He's about to walk in the door, man. I'm gonna start right now. Just what's going on, man? Salute, bro. We got my man Bobby in the building. John's literally walking in the door any second now. So we're just gonna get this kicked off, man. How's everybody doing tonight, bro? Welcome back to the W number. We're about to have another great live show. Everybody who showed up so far, that's in the chat. Salute to you. If the mic is on correctly, let us know that it sounded good, man. Bobby, give us a
absolutely. What's up, guys? Thanks for thanks for having me. Thanks for tuning in. Everybody in the chat. Big salute to the chat, and big salute to you for having me. As always, man. Appreciate you.
And this is Bobby from the Bounce Back Podcast, bro. His brother JoJo's doing a life sentence up in the max right now. Free JoJo, hashtag free JoJo. Salute to all the guys behind the wall. Salute to everybody doing time right now. Salute to everybody in the chat. If you guys got any question, here he is, bro. The man in the hour right now. John in the building, kid.
Too bad you didn't have the round of applause.
Do a little dance. Make a little love.
Hey,
Get down tonight.
What's up, brother?
What's good, bro?
What's up, John? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, bro.
I would have bet my life he would have had some Harvard gear on.
Oh, man.
And I would have won.
He's always got the Harvard shit on.
Yeah,
Fat,
mama,
bro.
mama comes through.
A lot
Harvard
of
versus Yale, baby.
So
The game. The oldest games in the country.
Absolutely. Everything out here is old. History. A lot of history out here.
back, bro. Boston, one of the oldest historic cities in the country for sure.
Big time, brother.
And so, you know, the way we do it behind the wall is a little differently too when we get in. And I guess the topic tonight that we're going to talk about is homeboys and like how we do it in the Max in Massachusetts. And what the word homeboy really means is if you're from that area of the person that you're bidding with, like, so if somebody from the Cape, for instance, comes to the joint and they're going to the Max, I'm there from the Cape, they're going to come to me and be like, what's up, Maddie? Because I've already been there. I'm established. People know me. They're probably people when they walk through the door, if they're from my area, most likely dudes are going to approach you and be like, oh, what's going on? Where are you from? You know, do you know so-and-so? And they're going to be like, you know, Maddie Tottenham, bro, he's from the Cape. He's a good dude. Or do you know this one or that one? And
that's the whole Cape. That's P-Town included.
Yo, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, bro. Yo, I don't know if I ever met anybody locked up from Provincetown in my life, but my brother definitely got locked up in Provincetown. That shit was hilarious, bro. I'm not gonna lie, dude. Yo, I'm not even gonna get into it, bro.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah, that's a story for another day. That shit was so funny, though, bro. I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean, for the people that don't know about P-Town, maybe you're not from Massachusetts. It's like a notoriously LGBTQ community type of thing. You know, if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Even before, like,
yeah,
LGBTQ was like,
yeah,
and before. You know,
that was like the hidden.
Well, Mass is always ahead of the curve with that. Like Cambridge, right down the street, the first gay marriage in the country. Back 20? I mean, so long ago now. But
it's funny because they say this is a liberal state, right? So liberal, but
they don't say it.
Well, it is a liberal state. I guess, you know, definitely political leanings and shit like that. But I think that they're real heavy-handed when it comes to hitting you with time. Like I thought, like
compared to you ever look at other states around? Look at New Hampshire.
Really? I mean, yeah, New Hampshire got those weird bids. They're like 2 to 20 or 2 to 40.
But something you do here, if you did it in New Hampshire, you would get double the time.
Yeah, New Hampshire's crazy.
You will.
Well, they're big with giving out like life bids here, you know, life paroles and all that stuff. A lot of states I hear they're more like 30 years, right? Just straight up, or 30 to 40 or whatever. But Massachusetts, for being such a small state, I think it does have a disproportionate amount of people doing a life bid.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. I especially in the Max, I feel like a lot of them young kids, especially when you first get locked up in Massachusetts for a life sentence, you will go behind the wall for 2 years. You're going to spend 2 years if you get a murder.
That is, it's a requirement. You do 2 years in a level 6.
Non-negotiable.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, Bob, you mind hitting that comment at the bottom? Take that off real quick, just so people can see the whole screen. But yeah, so let's talk about first. I guess we'll talk about one of the most infamous, the most infamous.
What do I do? Just exit out?
Yeah, just click the go upwards, go up, and you'll see the comment that's highlighted. Keep going up, keep going up, keep going up, keep going all the way to the top.
They deleted my
Yeah.
they deleted my Facebook again, so I couldn't freaking share that.
They deleted your Facebook for what?
Again, yeah. Because of all my, you know how I got multiple accounts, so I connect some of them to my Facebook, which I should stop doing. And once if they want to disable one, if it's connected, they could disable.
Damn.
the
Yeah.
From
Facebook.
IG connected to the Facebook.
So they
yeah.
so they disabled one of my IG accounts. So they disabled the Facebook with it.
That sucks, bro. Especially when you put a lot of work into that special
Exactly,
account,
dude.
dude.
It's like you just want to give up.
Hell yeah.
That we just got rid of.
So let me John, let me ask you a question about you're from Charlestown. When you get locked up, what's the first thing that's gonna happen? Like if you run into some dudes from Charlestown, like how do you guys in particular, how are you guys set apart from the rest?
I know when I got to Concord, like say 52-8, when I first got up to Concord, my first state bid, there was only a couple guys up there. And, you know, it was classification. So like guys weren't like established like that, you know?
Did
So
you guys have a Charlestown
guys don't
table?
get established. No,
No Charlestown
no.
table?
We just sat where we sat.
Mm.
But like say 52-8, like guys we used to put stuff aside.
In 52 ways,
I would make sure.
That's when you get hit with like when you're
If you
pre-trial.
came back, Suffolk, there's certain counties that you just couldn't hold
Middlesex did it too,
guys.
yeah.
Suffolk, Middlesex, Worcester. If you got rearrested after you did state time, there was this thing called 52A status. When you went to your county, they would send you right to Concord because
Yeah.
they couldn't hold you
I
in the county.
I thought that's what was going to happen to me in 2018 when I got locked back up, but they sent my ass
And
right
guys
to
would love it.
Billerica.
Guys-
Then I thought there was going to be like a
guys
52A
would love
block,
it.
and it
Yeah.
wasn't even that. It was just
Lots-
chaos. I was like, it's crazy. This sucks.
Was it last time I got locked? Yeah, I went to Nashua Street.
Right.
Last time I
They
got-
did away with
There
the
was no
52A
more
status.
52A, and it's
No.
awful for guys that did state time. They want to
Word.
go back.
Back when I got locked back up on this sentence where I got the 12 years, they sent me 52A from Dartmouth, and like everybody there was so mad because nobody gets 52A from Dartmouth. But I'm a Barnstable transfer everywhere I go. They just don't send me to Barnstable because I smashed out the CO DeLuca there. So they send me to fucking they send me wherever. Like they'll send me Dartmouth or Plymouth or wherever.
Yeah.
And you know, so I'm gonna be a transfer in Dartmouth, even though I gotta, you know, I go to court in Barnstable or whatever. They send me out because, you know, they don't want me around that CO. But when I got to when they got me to Dartmouth, they sat me down and they were like, dude, we're gonna get you the fuck out of here fast. Like we don't want you here. So trust me, you'll be up in the max.
That
52A
happens.
soon.
That happens with plenty of guys. I
Yeah.
know. Billy
yeah.
Billy Tibbetts is one.
Okay.
He is a Plymouth County guy.
Mm.
They ship him wherever.
Yeah, I knew a
Because-
guy that had in Middleton, I think, previous affairs with
Similar-
a nurse, and it's like
similar
a stay away
thing, yeah.
situation. You know what I
It's
mean?
a similar thing. He comes usually to South Bay because the same. But to answer your question, we do. You know, where we're established, will obviously take care of a guy
Mm.
that comes in.
Right.
And I remember a time, I'll point this out specifically. I won't put the guy's name out there because he's no longer with us.
Mm.
But this was getting back into when the Suboxones were around and guys were selling this and weren't the same people anymore.
Mm.
And usually most of our guys maintain their morals and, you know, didn't get like that where
Right.
a lot of guys did. And I had everything put away in a pillowcase.
Where were you?
Concord.
Concord.
Headphones, Walkman, sweats, shorts, you name it, everything you need when you come in.
Mm.
And an older guy did fed time, this guy had been in penitentiaries and
Mhm.
everything. Came in and I gave him everything. And you know, the night before he went to court, I'm like, hey, make sure you drop that off in the morning.
Mm.
And I went to his cell, and he had sold it all for fucking
Wow.
Yo.
Crazy.
And I had seen him afterwards when we got out, and like, I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious?
It's like a slap in the
And he
face.
could never like look at me the same again.
Mm.
And I remember he had got like a bunch of money, and like he gave me like a bunch of money one time, and I'm like, dude, like, just forget about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to live with it. You know what I mean? I didn't do it. Like,
Right.
and it's just like he was drunk, and he just, you know, it was
Mhm.
something that really fucked him up.
Yeah. He's like, John, I need
He
closure.
It
He's
really
like, "You're
fucked
not
him up
getting it
because
from me."
obviously he had done. He knew what the right thing was. He
Right.
knew what the right thing wasn't. He had been in fucking penitentiaries. He knew how to do. He did a shitload of time.
Crazy.
And this guy did something that was just unforgivable.
Mm.
And he hit the lottery. He hit $1 million on a scratch ticket before
Really?
he passed.
Damn.
And I said, that's going to kill him
Yeah.
because he just had, obviously, if he did that, I'm sure he did some other things to people that were irreprehensible and just, and I knew it. I
Yeah.
felt bad. I said, that's, you know, he's going to die.
Right.
Wow.
And
Right.
he did.
Yeah.
He died not long after he got that money. God rest his soul. And
Sometimes the best things that happen to you are the worst things that happen to you.
yes,
You know
yes.
what I
Yep.
mean? You think it's the
There was
greatest
no
thing at the
question
time.
that was going to
Can't handle it.
Yeah.
But well, I'll remember when I came into Bill Ricker first, like they had everything fucking set up for me.
Yeah.
Them guys had everything.
So was it all Charlestown
All
guys?
Charlestown guys.
Really?
I was gonna say
Yeah.
there's usually
All-
Charlestown
not even my
guys
county.
almost everywhere. You
Not
get at least
even my
one, I feel
county.
like.
Yeah.
Them guys had everything here. As soon as I got there, boom,
Yeah.
everything. Just the starter kit that I
Yeah.
just said.
Yeah, that's what's up.
They
That's the
had
best
everything,
feeling
a
too.
starter kit, and had multiple starter kits
Mm.
for if guys had come in, because that was a place you could accumulate shit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like the Max where
Mm.
they're gonna come in fucking every other month and take
Yeah,
everything
shake
you
it
got.
down.
Yeah.
Do you know
It's
what
not
I
on
mean?
your books.
You
Take
could
your extra stuff.
stockpile shit and no one's gonna come in and take it from you.
Mm.
You can't do that in the Max because you always have to worry about a fucking shakedown.
Mm.
It's the oh god, like I had literally PTSDs from not just shakedowns, but Ips running in on you at fucking 7 a.m.
Hey, thank you for that. Ryan Cornu just sent me a $50 cash app, bro. Salute to
Oh,
you
that's
for
what's
that.
up.
Hell
That's
yeah.
what's up. That's
Hell yeah.
real.
Bro, that's the
Ryan.
biggest thing. Like when I know I'm doing something right for
Who
this
did that?
podcast,
Who did that? Just
Ryan Cornu. It's on here.
I just want to know, just so you know, this guy's a good guy. Fucking.
Boom, $50.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Sean Pacheco, Boo Boo's brother, sent me
Yeah.
$200
Did he?
cash app. Yup. So I sent it to
Oh,
some of the
remember
guys
we were
locked
talking
up.
to his son.
That's what's up.
His
Yeah.
son was on here.
Yeah, his son came on the other day when we were talking about Boo Boo and shit.
Mhm.
And you know what's really dope is I took half that money and I sent it to Jerry. I sent some to Jerry. I sent some to Kicker. I sent some to
That's crazy.
well, whatever, bro. You know.
No, that's your money. You can do whatever you want.
But it's what you get, you must give away, bro.
No,
Like,
you can send with
Mhm.
it, but it's funny that you took that money
yeah.
and sent it.
Well, it wasn't out of it wasn't nothing like that. Like I didn't put any thought behind it. Like, oh,
I know. I
yeah.
know.
It was just more out of love. Like I seen
Right.
them guys behind the wall. I made videos about them, trying to get
You
people
were waiting
to
to
like
get some money and send it to them.
Yeah,
and it just happened to be.
and I got it. And so I
But a
was
lot
just
of guys don't know what's going on there. But
Word. Yeah. I mean, this is the way I see it. It's like it's definitely homeboys, bro, right? So when you go in, you don't have anybody. So if you're not in a gang, you don't have anybody waiting for you. So the best thing you got going for you is if you can run into somebody from your area and they're gonna automatically take care of you. That's the best part about having homeboys, especially in the Max when you go upstate and you're doing a long term and you get up there and you don't know anybody and you're young and it's your first bid and you just got there. And it's like guys come up to you, they're like, "Hey, what's going on? Where are you from? Can I, what are you in here for? All that shit." And then they'll be like, "Oh, well, do you know this guy from that area? Do you know this guy from that area?" And the more they ask you, you're gonna probably know one or two people. And then you're in the door, you're talking, you got something to relate to, and it's kind of like that's just.
Well, there's places you're from that there's always going to be somebody there.
Absolutely.
There's
Fall River.
always going to be Fall River. There's always going to be Charlestown. There's always going to be Cambridge guys.
Cambridge guys, yeah.
There's always going to be Stonewall guys. There's always Cambridge guys.
Cambridge. So when you go
absolutely.
to what county are you?
So Cambridge is Middlesex.
East Cambridge.
Yeah.
So many East fucking Cambridge. times.
Absolutely. Yeah, but even Cambridge in general is just a lot of these guys, even not even just the white dudes, man. Some of them black dudes in there I went to school with and stuff too.
Yeah.
And if they got stuff like at least in Bill Ricker, when I got to Bill Ricker, like you said, I had everything waiting for me. I had 3 or 4 homeboys up in there, but that wasn't till then. Like earlier in like my experience doing bids, like DYS, there was nobody I knew there. Fresh start. I got to Cambridge, I got in a fight right out of Newman, shipped to Plymouth.
Really?
Now a lot of people out there like, where's Cambridge at? You know what I'm saying? I'm in Plymouth County. You know what I mean? So a lot of those guys didn't know. But
Like,
yeah.
I've been the same thing. Like, where's Charles?
Well, some people are just so isolated in their own world, man. I guess you know what I mean.
DYS, same thing. I've been there. Been the only Caucasian with a civil rights case.
Yeah.
And that was obviously.
Well, my first time at DYS, I was with actually I had a Charlestown kid as a cellmate, and there was like 3 co-defendants. They were all up in there, and it was like 2 East Boston kids, and that was kind of deep for the white dudes, bro. Just like 5 decent, like you know what I mean, 5 of us, and they split us up though not too long after that. But
you know how like South Boston,
and they will, right? But
because we all stuck together, they saw that, you know what I mean.
There'll be 10 people from the same hood, but they'll keep
so it's like a 5 to 4. So I think 45 people were on the unit, so that's the ratio.
So much more. Like they would do that in South Bay.
Yeah,
and there would be a group of us because they would, and they would want to, fuck with us. And it's like, dude, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking serious?
They go after the tighter crews.
Are you dead serious?
You work out in the yard together, or if you
they would come white shirts. They would come deep cert team and come pat us down and want to come shake down cells and start lugging dudes and separating dudes. And it's like.
Who does the Cambridge guys roll with when they're in there? Do they roll with like another city?
So in Bill Ricker, it's like predominantly pretty much white and Spanish. And there's so many white guys. We stick. I guess Cambridge, some of them all in that area kind of all sticks together. Then you got your little Lowell crew, but then so many guys just in and out forever anyway that it's kind of all integrated.
What I've seen in Bill Ricker is the Lowell guys stay by themselves.
Lowell guys?
It's like the
Lowell area too, like Tewksbury, Lowell, all those those
they
guys
all say they're from. It's like Worcester County guys say they're from Worcester.
Yeah, Worcester County's roll with Charlestown guys a lot. I noticed, like the white guys from Worcester,
upstate.
Upstate.
But like in that county, like Lowell guys are just they're separate from the other white guys.
Yeah,
well, it's so different now too, because you're talking about behind the wall when 200 people were out. And now the units are so small, half the unit comes out. You'll be lucky if you have 3 guys from the same city. Yeah. It's kind of like
I was behind the wall.
Yeah,
I was there 20 years ago. I did 2 years. I did 2.5. Well, I got 2.5 years there.
20 years ago, did you ever meet any Cape guys there? And then now, if you go to prison now, you're gonna see mad different Cape guys.
My Shirley was from the Cape in Concord, my boy.
In state prison, I did.
Oh, you
yeah,
did?
but not in Bill Ricker.
No, that's what I meant. Upstate, yeah.
Yeah, there was Cape kids.
Really,
absolutely.
I thought
a lot of Cape kids.
So the ones I knew about was like Big Show, which Matty Tall. You know Matty Tall?
Yeah,
he's a great guy. God rest his soul, man.
He's dead.
He passed away, bro. He got out. He robbed the bank, and he ended up ODing, bro. And he's like a family friend of mine too. Like his uncle,
he was good dude.
His uncle employed my brother when he got out of prison.
He did a bit.
Yeah, he did a smoker, bro. He was bank robberies and shit. He did one here and in Rhode Island. Definitely a good dude, bro. Fishing company, like his uncles were fishermen and shit. Like he definitely wasn't. It wasn't like one of them dudes where you thought like, this is gonna be one of them that go early. He had a good family, good life and shit. But drugs reach everywhere, dude. Like drugs do not discriminate.
Not at all.
And the Cape is one of the hardest hit areas of.
It's one of the worst. It's one of the worst in the country.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
It's one of the worst in the country. It was at one point the worst in the country. I don't know what the numbers are now. I know Ohio's really bad.
Yeah.
But the Cape was at one point the worst. Like whatever it was by the numbers was one of the worst per capita.
Absolutely, bro.
Drug uses per. In the country.
Absolutely. And remember they did that Cape, the heroin epidemic thing on the Cape, the video, the documentary. Dude, that was sad, bro.
That's why they did that.
And like 4 out of like the 6 people that they followed around are dead now.
I bet.
Dude, it's crazy.
You're not gonna live. That's not this is not drug addiction. If you don't find a way out of it, is not a long-term fucking thing.
Right.
Especially with the fentanyl, right? Like like people don't notice and really don't like think on thinkers. We're thinkers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we look into things and say, hey, like what happened to fucking heroin?
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
why all of a sudden, like, is there just no heroin in this country?
that's a good fucking question
And
because,
it's because it's obviously because they stopped fucking letting it in.
well, I think it's this, right? I think that, you know, heroin was taxing the fuck out of people, and it wasn't as strong
It's
as
a
the
money
fentanyl.
thing. Well, no,
Yeah.
obviously it's much cheaper. Fentanyl is cheaper,
Yeah,
easier to make,
yeah,
and it fucking kills. And it's a population control fucking thing.
absolutely,
You
bro.
need less of it.
It's not like the crack epidemic. This is killing
You know what?
people.
There's a what
It's
did I just
not
read
people
this?
killing people over.
I wish did I share it? I don't know if I shared it. There's a obviously it's a liberal wants to give free fentanyl in somewhere in California to homeless people.
Oh shit.
Like why homeless people?
Right,
like
right.
they're not committing crime, so
Yeah.
you can't say it's
Population
a crime
control.
thing.
Yeah,
Like it's a straight population control thing
yeah, fact.
to fucking just kill them
Hell
Mhm.
yeah.
because they're you know undesirables to them.
Absolutely. Fact.
You know what I mean?
Fact,
And you just
fact.
want to like kill Skid Row, really. is
Yeah.
what you want
And you know what I think
kill people on Skid Row.
in
Yeah.
that in
The
United
food they
States,
feed us, I think a lot of it is popular. Even just to veer
And
off a
that's
little bit,
what-
but like
Yeah.
combine the drugs with the food,
Yeah.
with the
RFK, and that's why
pushing abortions, all that stuff.
RFK
It's
is-
all
is straight like
population control.
on that.
Because they can't tell you stop after
And he
2 kids. Not in
exposed
this
it.
country.
And he
You're not gonna get away with
exposed.
that.
Look at the cereal.
Mm.
Look at Canada cereal,
Mhm.
Fruit Loops, and look at America. Look at the color,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, look at the ingredients. Read the ingredients box.
Exactly.
It's like if you don't recognize
it's
any
like-
of these things,
That's why, and it's like these. Oh my god, it gets me so
But that's-
infuriated with liberals. Like, and it's like, oh, Trump is doing everything in his power to fix every problem in this country,
You're right.
Yep.
and he's a threat to democracy.
So I saw a comedian. He lit up a cigarette right while he was doing his little thing, and everyone gasps, right? And he's like, "What?" He's like, "This kills this many people a year, right? How many people does diabetes kill a year?" He's like, "If I pulled out a Snickers bar, you guys wouldn't have the same reaction, but this probably kills more people than this." You know what I mean?
No
So
doubt,
it's just
bro.
like it's
For
the stigma. I don't know. People need to. I know it's body positivity and stuff like that too, but
Mm.
people got to be a lot more
But
health
they-
conscious. But it's like.
They
we-
bank,
But we
on
trust the
ignorance.
government, though. Yeah, we're going
The
in the
liberals
grocery
bank-
store. We think that we just buy
The
food.
media,
We don't know it's
right?
poison.
The people that run the media, right? Which is the same people that run the liberals and that ran the country for the last 4 years. They bank on ignorance.
Yeah.
Mm.
They know that you just say the same thing over and over and over.
Mhm.
People are just going to believe it
Yeah,
Headline.
and not ask questions,
fact.
right? Because you've got so many people. I see it online and I engage because I just want to try to change one person's mind a day and give them the facts.
Mhm.
And I had this one kid come at me like, "Oh, I feel bad for you." Like, why do you feel? What do you mean? Because I'm a Trump supporter? Okay, I feel bad for you. Give me one fact. Okay,
Right.
tell me why you feel bad for me. I'll tell you why I feel bad for you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel bad for you because you support this.
Mm.
Just tell me one reason, and I'll, you know what? I'll erase this post.
Right.
I'll take it down.
Mm.
I will take it down, and I will apologize to you personally.
Mm.
Give me a fact instead of just saying names. I'm not going to call you names. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to say this guy reversed every single one of Trump's immigration policies out of spite.
Mm.
Do you know how much of a danger that poses the American public? Letting in 15 million unvetted immigrants, unvetted,
A lot of
Yeah.
them from prisons too.
unvetted.
From different places in the world that are
Venezuela-
actually enemies of the state as
Venezuela-
well.
China,
China,
Mhm.
fucking
One of the
Afghanistan.
worst countries in this world, obviously seen the open border thing and said, okay, we have a serious overcrowding problem in our
Mm.
prisons and rehabilitation centers,
Right.
and just emptied most of it to where it wasn't overcrowded and sent them all here.
Mm.
And the DOJ and obviously Kamala Harris, and who even knows if they told Biden?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
even think they were at the point where they're telling him
Mm.
at this point. And they were all coming here whatever that gang's called. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
It's
right?
like Trey, like
Trey,
Trey,
okay.
Agua, like
So,
Trey Agua.
They were
Something
trying
water,
to
right? Agua.
keep an eye on them, right?
Yeah.
Keep track of them. They lost track of all of them because they all veered
Right.
this way, that way, and every other way. There was thousands and thousands of them, all prisoners straight out of Venezuela's prisons.
Right.
And now they're obviously all over this country. And
As soon as they knew Trump was looking for them, they were like, pew!
Didn't warn the public.
Right.
Didn't warn the public that all these prisoners just came out of, didn't finish their sentences or anything, just came out of Venezuelan prisons, and didn't warn the public, and they lost track of them. And a lot of them got rearrested. A bunch of them were the ones that took over the apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. I saw that.
They were all over the country, and the media's, obviously, they're owned by, every single media outlet is owned by major contributors to the Democratic Party.
Oh shit! What the fuck just happened? Oh, it went off and on real quick.
Every single major, besides Fox, is owned by major contributors to the Democratic Party. So they're, in the pocket. They're all in bed together. So they're not putting any of this. None of this is getting any media coverage.
Right.
But it's still happening. And then Trump, he says during the debate, migrant crime is up, and they fact check him.
Oh yeah.
And obviously they come out later and say, "Oh, listen, we were wrong, right? We shouldn't have did that. These are the real numbers." But don't give that any media coverage. But obviously made it look like that, and the fact
you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. Right, it's already out there. You know what I'm saying?
You can't unring the bell.
The thing
You can't unring the bell. But none of these liberals that are saying Trump is this, he's a liar, he's this, that makes him look like a liar. And then the thing with the Haitians that they flew over here, they actually went and flew them over, eating the cat in Springfield, Illinois.
Eat the cat. Eat the cat.
Said that was a lie. They had that
it.
on a friggin' cam. What's that thing called?
Body cam?
Yes,
Yeah,
body
body
cam.
cam. Yeah.
And it's like, no, they fact checked them for that. And it's like, what are you talking about? It's all on a fucking body cam.
There's so much to talk about with politics, man. We could get lost forever on it.
But the worst thing to talk about, this is the last thing I'll say about it, is when you're trying to have this conversation with a closed-minded.
Yeah.
They're so closed-minded.
Bro.
Right? And it's like, I'm open-minded, but it's like, how are you going to be so just closed-minded about things and try to tell people this and that when you have no idea like what these people are doing to this country? They're trying to do so much damage to it.
Yeah.
And this guy's trying to fix it. And you believe this because the media says it without showing you any proof of it.
Yeah, a lot of fear mongering.
Well, let's get back on topic real quick. The politics is so hard to like, you know what I mean?
I could honestly go.
So let's we were talking about homeboys and how we rock with each other in prison. The things that we do for each other behind the wall. And let me get to some comments real quick, because I haven't been paying attention, and also salute to a couple more people who dropped a couple more bucks. So Bry Guy sent me $20 and Jasmine sent me $5. I appreciate that so much.
All adds up.
It all adds up for real, and to keep this channel going, that's exactly what I need, man. So we were talking about how homeboys, how we take care of each other in prison, especially when you're not with a gang. The only people that you really have to rely on is homeboys. In certain cars in the state are stronger than others. And I think that of those cars, some of the Boston area cars are a lot bigger and stronger than others, like Charlestown, like John and Cambridge, like my boy Bobby here. My cars is more like the Cape, but this is the thing with the Cape is there's not like a whole lot of Cape dudes. So what dudes like me do when I get in there is I will fuck with who I know is solid. Like it doesn't matter if you're from Charlestown.
A lot of them are Wiggers. So.
Right. There's a lot of Wiggers from everywhere, but
No, but it is what it is. That's no reflection on you.
No, it isn't. It isn't. It's an era. I feel like Wiggers were like an era. You know what I mean? Like I think, a Wigger when I was a kid.
I want to talk about something that has to do with this.
Yeah.
but I don't. I want you to finish.
Yeah, all right. So I think that what I did was I fucked with the people I knew were solid, like John, all the dudes that were boyos, I knew were solid right off the rip. There was guys that weren't boyos, like Fall River dudes, like my boy Billy Gilman, man, salute to you, bro. And I haven't talked to you in a long time, but
Is he out?
yeah, I think he's out, bro. He went to the feds and went home, but like guys like that, like
What do you mean he's not a boy?
he's a boyo.
That's what I said.
Oh no, I'm saying he's a Fall River guy. I didn't mean to
You
say
just
that
said
like
he's
that.
not a boy.
Oh, I just meant from Fall River. Like that was before. Yeah. So there was guys from other cities. That's what I meant by that. It's just like
quickly. What about
your?
So this was after you already did a state bid and knew people, right? That's that's where you're getting at. But what about like the first time? Like you get upstate. How do you know where you sitting at?
Yes,
Is it from people you know from county? Like how did that work for you?
So the first time I went upstate, I was there. There was a bunch of guys from the Cape. So like, Browning was up there. My boy Browning, he was up there. So, but the person
Bobby
I fucked
has
with,
a great podcast.
The Bounce Back, check it out.
Yeah, the Bounce Back podcast. Go check it out. But for real, but the person I fucked with the hardest from the Cape was my boy Steve Knighton. He Nitty. He's a great kid. He was a live wire. You know Steve.
No, I know the other
Nitty, bro. He was just one of them kids you could not play sports with him, bro. He will end up fighting you. It was what ended up happening with me and him. We had words in the basketball court. We bumped heads. We had to get pulled apart
all the time.
He's from the Cape. There's another Nitty from the Cape.
Yeah, there might be Nitty. This is a white kid. He had like curly hair.
You don't know the other Nitty? His name's John.
Who was the kid? There was a kid, Dave, I was up there with too. Bob, he was a lifer, I think.
Oh no, not Dave Clark is an older guy from the Cape. He's a fucking serious dude. He was a serial killer.
Dave killed the cop.
Yeah, Dave shot and killed the cop, but he was a serial killer. That's why he was being investigated by the cops. The cops pulled him up, and he got shot in the head. Yeah, he did. He got shot. He still has a bullet in his head till this day.
Shout out to Dave Clark.
Facts. Definitely shout out to Dave.
Still running a store wherever he's at. I know he is.
The biggest store in the Max for sure.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, right? Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what it was. It's like I went in there, I gravitated first to the Cape guys. But then after that is kind of like I just started gravitating towards people that I was more similar to. You know what I mean? Like guys like John, we like, even though they grew up in the city area, like, or they had different experiences, we all had more similar than we did have different. You know what I mean? So I kind of gravitated towards people like myself, and I found them, bro. There's so many solid dudes in the Max, bro. You can't really, you walk which direction, you're gonna bump into somebody that's solid, bro. Like there's so many good dudes up there, bro. But yeah, that's really what I did, bro. I just gravitated towards people that I fucked with, and people that looked out for me, especially because there's guys that look out heavier than others, and I'm not saying that I would fuck with somebody just because they were looking out, but it's definitely a lot easier to make someone's acquaintance if they're being generous towards you, and letting you know that they're there rocking with you and shit like that.
That's how Jerry is.
Yeah, Jerry really did, bro. He pulled in so many good dudes by being generous. Yep. Speak on that.
Being generous.
Yeah,
he does. He is. He is generous. He's not a selfish person.
And he's one of them dudes that kind of crosses those borders between homeboys and just solid dudes. He's the one who told me straight off the rip.
At times, you don't know if there's motives behind.
Absolutely, there's always motives with people in prison, bro.
Like, that's prison in general, right?
Yeah, especially them heavy hitters, those power hitters, bro. Like Jerry had stuff. He has a life sentence, so what he has to lose is his life, his reputation.
He gets jealous if you're.
Oh yeah,
you're on top too. He don't like that. That's why me and him don't.
There's been times we bumped heads for sure.
Well, that's the thing too about keeping like homeboys and stuff like that. That could be a double-edged sword too, because I'm sure we all got homeboys who are like, it's gonna be a rough bit if you're on the block with them. You know what I mean? Just have some people that just like that. You know what I mean?
Garvey used to cause Garvey so many headaches, bro. Butler used to call it Garvey headaches, bro. But he was a good kid. He was just so young, bro. So young. He was addicted to the deuce. Butler. I think he's back now in a life. He's facing life anyway. He's facing murder.
The kid from Malden.
Skinny white, yeah.
Yeah, he killed Fitzy's sister.
Oh, okay. I don't know him.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah. I remember 4th of July. I remember rest in peace to Aaron. Yeah, Fitzy's my boy. Yeah.
Remember Fitzy? He's a boy.
He's a boy? Yeah. Fitzy. Oh yeah, yeah.
From Cambridge.
That's my boy.
I like Fitzy, bro.
I put him down. Yeah.
Oh really? Mm-hmm. I like Fitzy, bro. Yeah, he's a good dude.
Good dude. That's my boy.
Salute to Fitzy, bro.
That was crazy.
So,
but
John, let me ask you.
That's how me and Sully were. I couldn't live with him. I had to move out on him.
Yeah, Yeah.
I had to move out on him, bro. I love you, bro.
And that, from Charlestown, right?
But
Yeah.
no, from,
No,
from Salty. But
okay,
we
but-
came up through the system together. We've
Yeah,
known
yeah,
each
okay,
other
gotcha.
since we were 14. We were in DYS together.
Well, because
So
I had
yeah.
homeboy as a cell. Remember CJ, my boy CJ,
Yeah.
played another one, rest in peace, man. And Bill Ricker, we were selling. We had more fun in the cell, man. We were like
Yeah.
waiting to lock
Sometimes
in
it's
during
like
rec,
that.
bro. And then we
Sometimes
had, and
it's like
actually
that.
Fitzy was the overnight worker with Nilton, another one, rest in peace to Nilton, and Cape Verdean kid from Cambridge. So they were at our door all night. It was
Sometimes it's
so
like that, but
such an easy
sometimes
feeling.
you'll live with someone that
That you
you're
can't,
close
yeah,
with,
yeah.
and
Too close for comfort sometimes.
It's just you butt heads.
Thank you, Doc
personalities
Holiday.
clash.
That
Thank you
happened.
for that, bro.
Me, Stephen McMaster, God rest his soul, and Joey Santola were all cellmates. All 3 kids from Charlestown, and me and Stevie were like this, and like for some reason, just Joey was. It just was difficult with him.
You know,
But
Sean Fritz.
I love him. Great kid.
You know
That's
Sean
my
Fritz.
boy, but yes, of course.
Sean's from your area too, right? That's your
Yeah.
homeboy.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest kids ever, man. I love Sean Fritz, bro.
Yeah.
He was but me and
He's
him
mental.
ended up
He's
nuts,
he's a great
cooked
kid,
up.
bro.
But I remember on St. Patrick's Day, it was his 10-year anniversary of being on the wagon. I made a batch of booze. I was in the hole. It was so good, bro. You could drink 2 cups and just be like, you're fucking getting drunk already, I gave some to this kid next door to me, spit in the lieutenant's face.
That's how we're acting.
Yo, I give him 5 cups of booze, and he drinks all 5 of them, bro.
geez.
Meds come around, bro. They smash his neurons. And he's like, I got a throat ulcer. He's like, I got an ulcer in my throat. He's like, I can't take my meds smashed. And it was Posh Spice. Remember Posh Spice, the nurse with the fucking blonde, So she's like, oh, well, if you don't want your meds, then I'll take them. And she snatches the cup off the thing and fucking takes the cup from him. He's like, oh, what? He puts his arm in the trap and he's like, nah. He's like, fuck that. He's like, give me my meds. And she's like, well, she moves to my trap, right? And she's starting to do my meds. And I got my arm up the trap a little bit. And I'm like, no, this is the max. And so I'm like, are you going to give him his meds? And she's like, well, if you don't want your meds, then you don't have to take them either. I said, no, I want my meds. Thank you very much. I was getting Klonopins and Adderall. Yeah.
Especially when you're getting something good.
The good shit. Yeah.
I had a cellmate with cancer. He had shit before. I think it was it methadone? Maybe? It was before they were giving.
Listen to this though, right? Check
Morphine or
this
something.
out. This is mad funny, dude. Right? So they end up coming on the tier with the cops and shit, and they go to his cell and they're like, "Yo, Sean, are you gonna close the trap?" And he's like,
quiet.
"Yeah, he is," but he got drunk. He came off the wagon, the 10-year anniversary. Now I found out why they do not want him to drink, bro. Right? And I'm like, it's Sean's over there, and then they come on the tier with the gas and shit. It's Sergeant Babcock and a couple other ones, and they're like, Sean, you're not gonna close the trap. They hit him with the gas, and then the trap closes. Boom, right? He backs up, and I'm like, oh, Sean, you fucking busted, bro. You left me hanging, right? So I'm in my cell, and they come to me, and they're like, you gonna close the trap? And I'm like, man, Babcock, I've been waiting for you all day. And I go, like that. I'm like, that shit's like Banaka. I'm like, hit me with it, bro. I've been waiting for you. I'm like, hit me with it. And he's like, come on, Maddie. I'm like, I'm serious, bro. Hit me with that fucking shit, bro. And he's like, yeah, you hit me with it, bro. You reached in. He goes, are you sure? I say, yup, I'm sure, bro. Right in my mouth. Right. So I'm like, oh, you motherfucker. So I have my hand in the trap. I don't give it to him because I know as soon as that shit goes.
That shit is not like Banaka.
It is not, bro. It's like Banaka that lights you on fire and fucking stomps your face. Yeah. That's the worst feeling, bro. But
I was in the middle of saying, go fuck yourself, and got hit.
Bro, next thing I know, though, an orange comes flying out the trap and smokes Posh Spice right in the side of the head, bro. And her hair goes, like the slow motion, like the hair just like, yo, it was so funny, bro. I'm like, oh, shit. She left the med cart right there on the tier and ran down the tier, dude. Sean's whipping oranges and fucking all these apples and shit, and they're hitting the window. So I take a book and I throw it, and it hits the top of the med cart, slides off the top of the med cart, falls on the floor, knocks everything off. And I'm throwing stuff down the tier, it's hitting the window. She runs off, the med cart's just sitting on the tier, and they had that dude Mac, the old man Mac from Worcester come in, and he's like, they're cleaning the tier and shit because me and him started.
Larry Mac.
Yeah, Larry Mac, the laundry guy, bro, right? So they're cleaning the tier and shit. And I'm like, yo, Mac, come here, bro. I'm like, come here. and I started ripping chunks of cement off the wall because I had ripped my bunk off the wall, and so the bunk pulled the cement chunks with it. So I take the cement and I'm throwing it at the tier, like out on the tier at the runners and shit. I got my trap open and they're letting them clean the tier, and so I'm like, Matt, come here. I'm like, I'm done fucking around. I'm like, I'm not playing no more. I'm like, come here, bro. My bad, bro. And he comes really close. I'm like, let me tell you something, bro. Because I'm like, let me tell you. He came mad close, bro, and I spit in his face. I'm like, you fucking house. I called him my house, and I said some fucked up shit to him. I'm not gonna get, but it was like, he's a white dude, bro. But I was just drunk and I was acting stupid, bro. But Sean caught a hate crime for that shit. They gave Sean a fucking hate crime, brought him to court. He took the rap though because he said he wanted the sandwich from court.
To get a ride.
Yeah, to get out of the fucking prison for a day.
Sheesh, things you do for a nice sub.
So my nephew's 18, and he's never had a white friend in his life. Like he's had a tough life. Like my mother raised him. So my mother's raised me, my sisters, then she raised my nephew, which is my sister's kid. So my niece passed away. So she's raising now her great grandson, which is my nephew, Michael. And like, he's just like kind of fouled up in the head. And he just really like, he's quiet. He wears all black, like hangs with all black kids and like thinks he's, I don't know. And I told him like 3 years ago, I had a conversation with him. I'm like, listen, like your life, I see where your life is going. He's walking around, got caught with a fake gun like 2 years ago. He got shot about a year and a half ago, almost got killed. The kid unloaded the whole clip on him.
Damn.
Yeah. And luckily the kid couldn't shoot. He only hit him once. And
salute to all the guys who have no aim.
Right, that can't shoot and friggin' over a phone. So you know, he's just in that life with these kids, and you could just tell he's just he's not a fighter. He doesn't have the aggression that I have. And I sat him down. I said, listen, like, you're not built for this. You aren't. And you're going to end up in the places that I was. And what are you going to do when you get there? The white guys ain't going to, what do you think you're going to do? You know what I mean? They're not going to fucking want anything to do with you because you're going to be trying to hang out with black dudes.
Right.
And the black dudes ain't going to fucking hang out with you except maybe like the lame ones.
And then when they leave, you go on your own, right?
Yeah, and the other ones are going to see that, you know, you're spoiled. My mother's going to take care of them like she did me. And because she's taking this hard, like, because when I went away, she was upset, but didn't have to worry about me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like she's what generally worried. So he got pinched Tuesday.
Damn.
Friggin' him and 3 other kids robbed a kid for a sweatshirt. A fucking sweatshirt. These kids have no friggin' brains. At Downtown Crossing on the platform.
Okay.
And then walked away, up, didn't run, didn't try to get away, and just went up the platform, went out the exit, and went in Dunkin' Donuts, and friggin' the cops came in and just arrested him.
Did he get a bail? Is he out, or is
No,
he
he got a dangerousness hearing.
Nashua Street?
So he's at Nashua Street.
That's even worse, though. That's even worse. Dangerousness hearing, because all they have to do is say he's dangerous, and then he's not even going to get a bail at all.
Right, he's got no bail.
Yeah.
So they would have probably billed. I'm like, you got to let him sit there. You have to. Like he doesn't go to school. When he does, he falls asleep in school. He stays up all night playing video games. Like, he has no respect in the house. He won't take the trash out. He's just like a lazy fucking kid that just smokes weed all day. And just needs to learn.
Right.
Like, my stepfather doesn't want him in the house. Just want to get rid of him already. But my mother like cried and fucking got so upset that he didn't do it. And they adopted him, and he's 18 now. So like, he can get rid of him if he really wanted to. But
is he facing state time?
Now he is. Yeah, he got caught with a gun.
Damn. And where is he from?
In his robbery, right? Armed robbery.
Yeah, they got caught with 3 guns.
So say if he goes upstate, he's 18 years old, he's from Charlestown, or if he goes, where is he gonna go first? And then
He's in Nashua Street now.
And so are guys looking out for him from his
I don't know. He
city?
just got there, but it's not like that no more. There's like no Charlestown guys.
Well,
that are gonna be there.
even the last time in Bill Ricker, even though I had people trying to get me stuff on a different unit, it took like almost a week. By then, I already ordered my canteen. My boy Keithy Richardson, salute to him. Not even a Cambridge homeboy, but someone I did time with and all that stuff for years. He had sneakers for me on another block, but you got to go through a CO. You know what I mean? So it's like
Nashua Street,
like,
you can't.
You asked out
If
pretty
someone's
much.
not on your block,
There's no way
that's
to get
it.
it to him.
my only bet is someone I did time with, which I did 20 years worth of time. There's going to be somebody there that recognizes his name and, you know, tries to maybe look out for him, but they're going to see that he's going to gravitate towards the black dudes, and they're going to be like,
yeah, it's all them young kids. They go in. That's
you know
exactly
what I mean?
they're doing now. Is that they're riding.
This kid is not. He's not built for this, and it's like this is what the opposite of what. There's no one there to take care of him. He is not somebody that has any friends in Charlestown.
Right.
He's not a homeboy, really.
Really?
Do you know what I mean? He is my nephew, though. So, and he has my last name.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Is he with the Cody's?
They are going to call him. No, none of them are from Charlestown. One of them's a 22-year-old, right?
Damn.
And then another one's 15.
Oh, okay. So one's juvenile. But did the other one get out though? The other co-defendant, or is he in Nashua Street too?
I don't even know. Can you believe a 22-year-old kid hanging with a 15-year-old?
Nah, it's
this just shows how
it's different. It's different nowadays.
Like, what are you doing hanging out with a 15-year-old?
Yeah.
Even an 18.
We always had a guy like that in the neighborhood, but we would get that, you know,
when
get
I was
alcohol
younger,
off him and shit. Kind of screw after that.
When I was younger, I used to hang out with all older dudes, but like I couldn't imagine.
This 22-year-old,
but like 15 hanging out with an 18-year-old, that's older dudes.
Was the one that did it, I'm guessing, and they just followed them, and they all had guns on them.
Everything's on camera. It's just, especially for the young kids, maybe they don't know what it was like before and think it's normal. But I remember a time when not everything was on camera. You know what I mean? Not everybody had a camera in their pocket, and that's evident. Like anybody,
cars that
call the cops.
Ignitions you could pop.
Not for nothing, but they follow you everywhere.
Tilt you can crack. Like ignitions you could pop. Cars didn't have freaking that thing star, whatever it's called.
OnStar. Saw that catch up a few
low
people.
Low jack was the worst thing you had to worry about.
They got rings at the home.
You could check for it.
OnStar in the car. You know, there's so many different like
cell phones in everybody's pocket, and everybody's quick to record shit nowadays. You know what I mean? Before they even help you, they'll record you dying before you.
Did you see the thing I reposted? That's the girl on the friggin' on the tracks.
I don't think I've seen that one.
I
think. The people record and then someone helped her.
Whoever it was, a guy or girl pulled out their phone instead of helping. And
that's crazy.
The person come very close to getting hit, and it was two kids that helped.
Yeah,
but she come very close to getting hit. That third person would have made it where she definitely wouldn't have got hit.
That's crazy.
I think it's desensitized people seeing like a lot of people that see that stuff. Like a lot of people like watching that. Like, oh, look at that, someone gets hit. I don't like. I see
this is gonna go viral. Like,
I
would never.
I've seen sick stuff in real life. I don't like it. It
when,
just brings back bad memories, bro. So I don't even like seeing that shit.
Shavink got shot, or my buddy. I went with you right afterwards. Joey Donnie got killed, and people pulled out their phones when he was laying there, fucking dead
on the ground. What about that shit makes me
before
so
they even
mad.
call 911. They don't know if someone's already called 911.
Not for nothing, but their family's
like
gonna see their dead body on social media before they're notified of the fucking crime. That shit makes me so mad. It's the same thing that happened with E3. They had his dead body. Remember the brains leaking on the floor?
Oh, the rapper.
And the cops let these dudes walk right into the fucking barbershop while they're standing there and videotape this shit.
I still talk to the kid's uncle, and like, fortunately, he didn't see it. He's the only his father. He never really had a father. His mother's passed. His person really has taken care of him, and his only father figure is his uncle. Fortunately, he never had to see it, but his cousins and all that seen it. You know what I mean? His friends seen it. Like that shit fucking.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's traumatizing.
That shit hurt me.
Imagine.
That shit fucking was like, dude, that's my boy there. My boy's fucking he's dead.
Especially someone like Shavink too. Like everybody knows Shavink.
Well, the Shavink thing was different. That was
a different case. That was a different crime.
It was like the same day. It was like the next night.
I thought that was together. I thought they were together and they
No.
got killed. So they had got shot within the same day of each
It
other.
was 24 hours. One was a
Jeez.
Friday night, the other was a Saturday night.
And Shavink's a warrior, bro. He
Did
was
you hear
upstage.
him?
Just
Did you hear him?
I heard he was yelling.
He was screaming.
Yeah,
Get the fuck away. He was just screaming crazy shit.
yeah.
Like
bro.
he was awake.
Mm.
He was a lot. He took one in the fucking face,
Yup,
in the eye.
yup.
Like, can you imagine?
He got
being
shot twice in the
awake for that?
face. Yeah, right? Twice in the face.
I believe so.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts.
He
dude.
just had another surgery and just had to get another 100 staples taken out of his head.
God bless you, man. Shavink, man. If you ever hear this, bro, I know you listen sometimes, bro, man. Salute to you, bro. God bless you, man. I hope everything's well.
He's
and
strong. I
good.
mean, if anyone's built for it, he is.
Yeah, he's definitely a fucking warrior, bro. He's built for that shit for sure. So if anybody's got any questions for me, Bobby, or John about anything to do with prison or anything to do with our lives after prison or in general, definitely ask us in the chat right now. But before, until you
I
do
gotta
that,
go feed the meter. I'll be right back.
all right. So John's gonna go take a piss. I'm gonna ask Bobby's. Oh, you got to take a piss too?
No, he's going to feed
Okay.
the meter.
Oh, feed the
But
meter,
anyway,
feed the
that's why I was
meter.
laughing.
So let me ask you some questions,
Sure.
Bobby, about being from Cambridge
Yep.
and going to state prison. You went to Concord when you
Yeah.
first got up there. Who was up there for homeboys for you?
So actually, when I first got up there, I had two homeboys. They are actually, rest in peace. They both have passed away. Rest in peace to Tadpole and Nick Camerata. But yeah, so I had two homeboys up there waiting for me. You know what I mean?
That's what's
So
up.
that wasn't bad, but we weren't on the same block or nothing
Mm.
together. They were more on their way out. So
Were they
I'm on the
plugged
block.
in up there? Like, did they have
Yeah,
shit going
yeah,
on?
they gave me pretty much everything I needed. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
that was good.
What's one city that you noticed sticks together more than others?
I know Worcester. It seemed like Worcester stuck together a lot.
Do you remember any of the guys from Worcester?
No, it's dude, it's been so long, man. I got on 2011. I can't remember particularly
right.
who might have been up there, but
As far as like gangs,
but
go,
so listen, well, when I got to Concord, just to clarify too, it was classification, right? So it was people moving in and out, and that was the thing too. So my homeboys had left not too long after I had got there, but then it had switched over to a medium, so I stayed. You know, so it was a little different. It wasn't like I was at a place that's already established. These tables, I was kind of one of the first there. We kind of established kind of everything.
Right.
We, had the thing with the phones, just, we had to, everybody's coming out now. 90 people coming out instead of it used to be half-hour tier times. So just in case there was an issue, we had just the white phone, Spanish phone, black phone, and then, just the extra kind of, you know what I mean? Or other, but more like an extra. But that never even really became an issue because we were out so much. Then it went from like Concord was real locked down when it was classification. It was just come out like half-hour tier times pretty much throughout the day. No TVs, nothing like that. You know what I mean?
How big were the cells in Concord? Because I remember
they were pretty. I mean, I thought they were big, but I did time in Billerica and Cambridge where they're extremely small. Like Cambridge is single. You could go like this to this. You know what I mean? It's pretty much the size of a bunk, and then not even enough space for another. If you were to sit them side by side, they're extremely small. But then Billerica was small too, and then having a cellmate, that took some getting used to at first, not gonna lie. But
dude, especially in the hole. If you have a cellie in the hole, that's the worst, bro. I could not stand having a cellie.
Which pretty much like Newman was, right? Yeah. You come out, I mean, you're pretty much locked in all day. You come out for your little appointments and stuff. But I mean, until I got out of Newman and Billerica, but
yo, Michael McQueenie?
Yeah, that's my boy. Yeah.
That's my homeboy.
Absolutely. East Cambridge. Yeah. So he was one of the dudes. We were in Billerica together. So many have come and gone. It'd be tough to name everybody too, man. Right. You know what I mean? But
hell yeah,
it's always easier to bid when dudes from the streets, bro. It's just, I don't know. It feels less like you're bidding. You know what I mean? It's just to have homeboy. Then we could talk about stories and you know who I'm talking about when I say like, oh, this person, I did whatever we did instead of just talking to a stranger and they don't even know who you're talking about and they can't really, it's just different. We kind of feed off of each other a lot more. But yeah, shout out to my boy Mikey.
No, John did not open his shoe store yet, Lotta Graham, but he definitely has mad kicks for sale right now. I think he definitely he has shoes on for days. So if you want to hit him up for sneakers, definitely hit him up. You can hit him up in the comments here, and he'll definitely get back to you for sure. He's always looking to sell some sneakers. Bill Green with the W number 114202. Salute to you, bro, and everybody else overcoming in W number out there, man. Everybody who's showing up in the chat, bro. Doc Holiday, thank you for that $20 super chat, man. The fireman, bro. I seen you left me a super chat the other day, bro. Appreciate that. All the people that sent the okay, hold on, John, we're opening right now. James McKeon, bro, arguing people offline is a waste of time and energy. Absolutely, dude. I hate that. It's like cell warren in segregation, dude, yelling through a door or something. Like, it's the biggest pussy move ever, dude.
Even bigger, because
Yeah.
at least when someone's yelling through the door, you might be able to get to them. On a keyboard, you never be able to get to them.
Faceless.
Yeah. Yep.
Yo, John's got fucking stories for days about the crazy people in DDU, dude. Like, both of us probably do. Hell yeah.
So shout out my boy Mikey. So we were actually co-defendants on my first adult case way back in the day, 2025. McQueenie.
Mikey McQueen.
Yeah, we were co-defendants. So what happened is I got caught first. It was an attempted murder case. It was my first time in adult jail. I was a new man. Then I went to 18th dorm and I saw someone from the neighborhood that was like a known rat, whatever, right? I didn't have no paperwork. I was young enough to know that. I'm not just gonna call him that, but he was also like a custody kinda, and he had told me once if my don't cook up, he was gonna shoot me. So I was like, whatever. I'm just swinging off on that dude. Then I got shipped. So
he's
at the time they were doing the
Is McQueenie on the line?
No, that's a lot of Graham. Sorry, my bad.
No, Mike had tapped in the chat. Yeah.
On the chat.
But then I got shipped to Plymouth, right? The liminal Plymouth, they were calling it, because of overpopulation in Cambridge. You ship people every week. I went to Plymouth, so I pretty much sat there. Then him and my brother Jojo, we were all co-defendants. They had got caught after, and they're in Cambridge. I'm way over here in Plymouth, and then I'd see him at court, and if you know what I mean, homeboy, they're in the count. Nobody even, I know a couple people because they got shipped out too, and then like the people I met there, you know what I mean, at Plymouth. That was actually, some solid guys there too. Before they went to the feds, yeah. Rest in peace to Mark Marchese. He was up there at the time.
You get some fed guys. That's it.
Yeah, but it just sucked. It just sucked though too, because it was like, man. It almost seemed like they were having fun over there, fighting people and stuff. They're in the hole, you know what I mean? Like they're both just locked up in the hole fighting, and then my brother was a diabetic, so he like ran into somebody while he was in the hole in the hallway. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I wish I was hit. Like, I mean, young-minded too at the time.
Diabetics always get that movement, bro. You get to go in the hallways, do medical and shit like that. Yeah.
So it was just, and then they beat up the wrong Andre from North Cambridge because they thought it was someone who had told on one of our other boys, but it wasn't even the right Andre from North Cambridge. So poor kid.
Who's the most famous homeboy you got locked up that you know of?
I mean the name.
It's definitely.
I would say like Bubba, maybe. I only know by name, but I don't.
That's what I was.
But
definitely Bubba.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I only know him by reputation and name, and I think I'm sure family members know him. Is he from East Cambridge?
He is.
So yeah, I think
he's definitely a savage.
But all the guys,
but
Franco's,
Georgie Franco's, rest in peace. I know him from the street.
What's up, Haas?
Franco's was an animal.
Oh, yeah.
Franco's was an animal.
He knocked out his yo when I was
Joey Rod was
Rudy.
savage. I know.
A lot of those older guys is really something else.
The Cambridge guys, the old white Cambridge guys, definitely solid dudes, bro.
Absolutely. But we had a couple younger guys. Nicky Camerata, rest in peace. He's
Who's the most famous Charlestown guy?
Sawbuck, that's my boy.
Oh yeah, Sawbuck.
Sawbuck's my guy. Way back. So I was telling Maddie, we have pictures of his mom holding me as a baby and my mom holding him. Like that's how far back some of us go.
Word, bro. Yeah, and that's the cool thing about being from a city like that's kind of small and tight knit, like Charlestown or Cambridge. Even I mean, it's not really small.
Right. Well, you got just East Cambridge.
Yeah, it's more like an East Cambridge car, but because most of the dudes that go, well, not everybody, because you got a couple.
Yeah, what is that?
Joey Rod was from North Cambridge. Well, I mean, a lot of the white guys, I would say, East Cambridge is predominantly pretty much white, Portuguese, Italian neighborhood.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got some good guys from the coast too. Freddie Harvey, I think, was from Putnam Gardens in the coast. Joey, I think, North Cambridge guy. CJ was actually from West. Rest in peace, even though his whole, his mom was from East. People move around,
Right. Word.
Yeah.
TJ's father. He was a guy
Yeah,
there all the
Walter.
time.
Yeah, he met his. I think he met his father.
He
Being
did.
locked
I was
up.
there.
Yeah, crazy. And then
I
you know,
was there.
his little brother's up the max now. Little Johnny Morgan.
I never met him.
Yeah, he's up there now.
What's the coolest thing someone's
You
ever
just
did
asked,
for
you
you
asked me a
guys?
question, you know. I was
Did
just
I?
like-
Yeah, go ahead, answer it.
I mean, there's a couple. There's a few. We can get into actually my nephews.
for the most
My
famous
nephew's father, Butchie Doe.
Butchie Doe. Butchie Doe.
He's very notorious.
Yeah, that's a name I've heard.
What is he
Yep.
notorious for? Because I've never really I've heard his name before, but I don't really know.
He's. I mean, a lot of people wanted to kill him. He's. I mean, and what gets left out too is he made a lot of money. He robbed a lot of shit. Robbed a lot of trucks, banks, but just for having beef with other guys that were very notorious, Anthony Shea, Robert Russell, and he got shot so many times. He couldn't be killed.
Right.
He got shot 14 times.
Oh, is this the guy that we were talking about on the podcast? He's kind of like the most infamous dude from your area.
He's very infamous.
Okay.
God rest his soul.
Okay.
Liver cancer ended up getting him, but also Anthony Shea.
Anthony Shea. So I see him on
There's been
Facebook.
documentaries done about that crew, the No Name Gang.
Okay.
That whole crew was very notorious.
Is that the same as the gang that what they call them, the gang that can't shoot straight? Or was that something else?
No.
Oh, okay.
They're the ones that did the Hudson, but they had done so many. That was the one that got them caught because they killed, Matty McDonald killed the guard, and then they had they killed the other one because he was seeing it. That is
The burn the car.
they redid that, in movies and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Documentaries
done
too. I've
movies.
seen them. Yeah.
My
based
mom
on-
said
based on them and that, that Robert.
my mom said salute to you guys for not swearing, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That's way
Have
too
we
much.
not been swearing? I swear a lot.
Yeah, John
So-
swears.
Yeah.
Come on.
And we do it around the house.
Yeah.
Bad because the kids.
I do too. I
My
think
son
like
I don't cuss
swears.
around my mom.
Swears like a truck driver. I try not to, especially around my mother. 'cause
for sure.
My stepfather will call me out on it real quick. It's just
Hmm.
not respectful.
So let me ask you a question about Anthony Shea and shit.
He should be getting out. He went back to federal court and won something with his case and got his time reduced severely.
Okay, nice.
So he could be getting out.
Salute to him, man. We'll pray for him. Prayers for Anthony Shea.
I
Dude.
have, and that is like I'm really happy for him and that family.
And he's a Charlestown guy,
Yeah.
Anthony Shea. Okay,
Yeah.
so no
He
name
lost his
gang.
son. His son was a couple of years younger than me, but I played Pop Warner with him. I grew up with him. Great fucking kid. Great kid. He did a couple of years in the Bay. Like he was a tough fucking kid, great kid. But he died in 2004. But he still has a daughter, and his daughter just got married, just had a couple kids, so he's got grandkids to come out to. And, he still has some life to look forward to. He's been in 30 something years, but
How did he end up the dude that you said passed away just now? How did he end up going?
liver
cancer.
cancer. Yeah, he drank every friggin' day.
Yeah.
Drank every single
vodka?
fucking day.
Brian
he
Mulquin
drank
kinda.
beers.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
drank
like that.
beers.
Jeez, wow.
Brian Mulquin died.
Yeah, Brian Mulquin passed away from Hep C complications to his liver.
Well, that's what happened. He had Hep C, and he just drank every day. It started at 6 a.m. He worked. He was a longshoreman. Worked every day. He had work, but he would start as soon as he woke up.
Word.
He'd come by any day at work, stop by my mother's house, friggin' grab a beer, go in and grab a beer because they drive. When I was working down there, still
Nice.
drive me to work because I lived at my sister's for a long time, so I lived there with him. But he had turned his life around. He wasn't involved in any of that shit no more. He just worked.
Who was some of the older East Cambridge? I mean, I'm like I said, Georgie Franco's, Bubba Good,
Pretty much named
a few other people, man. I can't
Mikey
even think
Sullivan.
of off the top of the head. Mikey, yeah, he just came home, right?
Yeah.
Yep, Mikey
He had
Sullivan.
gone back while I was there. He picked up a drug case. I don't know what happened with that. His brother Kevin,
Someone
Oh,
said Stephen Burke runs the
Belsky.
Boston Fed pen right now, or something like that.
Yeah, Stephen Burke was in the
Mark
no-name
Belsky.
Okay, he was in the no name.
Kenny Belsky. Kenny Belsky
Mark
was
Kent.
a tough dude. That's crazy.
What happened? Yeah, I was
was
so
my
I was in
cellmate.
Concord when
He was my
Mark came
cellmate.
in for that.
When he came in for that, he was my cellie in East Town. But Stephen Burke was part of that crew. Was in the no name gang with Anthony Shea and Matty McDonald and Mikey O'Halloran.
That's like those are real legends right there, man.
They were. Those guys were doing
stuff
things
you write movies about. Yeah, I mean,
they were so meticulous and so good. And that was before there was cameras everywhere, but it wouldn't matter. They were that good.
Yeah.
And even Marty O'Brien and that crew.
Yeah, Marty O'Brien's a dog, bro. I like Marty.
They were that good. Yep. If they didn't bring in Jason Owens, they were robbing. And if you've ever been on Hanover Street in the middle of the day, on a nice day like it was today, they were robbing a fucking armored truck on a day like today.
Damn.
And nobody fucking knew.
They
had two guards tied up, and no one even knew because it was so smooth. But Jason dropped an AK, and that's what brought everybody's attention to it. And there was a detail cop down the street, and that's how it all went. And Jason told, he was a big tough dude from Charlestown, like one really tough dude, used to fucking go and rob dudes, anyone, hang them upside. I've seen him do it. I've been with them.
Crazy.
And just fucking hang dudes upside down, fucking empty shit out of their pockets.
Oh, another East Campus, Dookie Kenny, rest in peace, Dookie. He caught like a murder while incarcerated in Walpole back in the day. We were cellies for a little bit in Bilver. I'll never forget. He had his record. He stood on the toilet, held it up, it dropped to the floor. It was like one of those foldy ones. He picked it back up and it dropped halfway down. And a lot of it was while he was incarcerated too. A lot of that record, man.
Crimes while incarcerated. That's all on and afters now.
The most crimes while incarcerated I've ever seen was Dave Agnetta.
I remember him from Bill Record.
13 pages of crimes while incarcerated.
He's nuts, dude. He's always cutting off the best bangers, dude.
He had done so much. He started that fucking riot in Cambridge.
Yep.
He got fucking 3 years for that.
Mm-hmm.
He climbed inside the fucking vent, inside the wall in Billerica.
Really?
Yeah, I used to hear stories about that stuff.
He's done crazy shit. Didn't come out till they gave him a cigarette.
Did he get a cigarette?
No. I think they told him they were going to. But when I was there with him, that's where I met him. Like, we were down the wine cellar 3 different times from him fucking. I was down there for beating people up and then fucking acting up in the hole.
Mikey McQueenie just said he knew you. He said, John, I remember when I met you coming from the wine cellar. After a stint, you came to the Bay looking like a Wolverine.
Yeah. I got shipped out.
And Mikey's dad too. Yeah. May he rest in peace too.
I got shipped to the Bay. That's when I met Mikey out of the wine cellar because I'd been down there for fucking months.
Looking like the Wolverine. Yeah.
John Shea wrote Rat Bastards, though?
Yes.
Red Shea.
Okay, Red Shea.
John Red Shea.
John Red Shea. That's what I was going to say. I'm like, yeah, that was a different. He was just on that podcast.
Full of lies.
Yeah, that was straight bullshit. I was watching it. I'm like, wow.
I mean, I read it a long time ago, so I forget exactly, but it's just these guys, and I don't give Kevin Weeks credit for anything because he's just a rat, and I'll fucking say it to his face.
Right.
Because
he's a rat.
These guys just
they call him Kevin 2 weeks.
Let him come back. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yep.
And Kevin speaks. But there's one thing he says that is fucking 100% true. And it's in they took so many pictures of them. So many pictures of Whitey during his case. And there's so many indictments. Right. There's only 3 people there in all them pictures.
Years of surveillance. Right.
And there's nobody else but Kevin, Fleming and Whitey. Nobody else hung with them. Nobody else. He did nothing else besides collect money, and that's it. You go do this. Meet them once a month to tell them what to do and collect money. So like anyone else, Eddie McKenzie wrote a book saying all stupid shit that he had a fucking a thing with a one-side mirror and he'd go in and bang little girls and fucking touch little boys. Jesus. And it's like
I read his book too. Yeah,
I heard Whitey did that.
There's
shit.
one thing. No, it was because Eddie McKenzie said it in
That's
the
what
book.
he's talking about.
Oh, so-
Yeah.
Yeah, here I am
But
over
there's
here
no
going
truth
out.
behind it. But there's also the feds were on Conley's back saying this guy's getting away with murder, literally, and he's not giving us any information. So we need information from him. So they went into the files and took information that was already given and just recopied it and put Whitey's name on it.
No.
And then they bugged the Prince Street or not Prince Street. I forget the name of the street. The building that the Angelos and
Well, when they were across the street looking down into the with the like they posted up across the street.
They had it bugged because it's obvious that's where they were doing all their business from.
Yeah.
Whitey didn't have that information. Whitey don't have any information on the
Yeah,
Italians.
the Angelos, yeah.
And they gave him credit for that, so he can still continue the
Top echelon
Right,
informant
have the top
program.
echelon
Yeah.
informant.
The status.
But nobody ever has had
The
paperwork.
L Street garage.
No, it wasn't. No,
It wasn't the L
not
Street.
not the garage.
He said
but
North End.
It was
Southie, right?
it was in the North End, Lancaster
Lancaster.
Street. Nobody has paperwork on Whitey.
Yeah, that's weird. That's what I was going to ask you. Is like, do you think like
he
he got
never
a bad rap?
personally told? It's like the media today saying things are racist. Trump's a racist. Howie Carr fucking said it for 25 years. Things are right. The mental midget. He didn't like the brother.
Howie Coward.
He didn't like Bulger's brother, and
Billy. Yeah.
he called him the mental midget, and he didn't like Whitey. He called him a rat every day for 25 years straight. So people just went off that and the top echelon informant thing. But who did he actually tell on?
That would be the biggest jacket that
Who
ever
did he
got
tell
thrown.
him?
If that's the case.
Well, that's a whole different.
But
that's
who did he tell him?
I mean, they say that he told on the Italians. They say that he would
couldn't
meet
tell
with
on-
Connolly
right,
and kind of
no,
give up his
They say he
competition.
didn't have any information on the Italians. They gave him credit for it because they bugged a building that they knew.
This is what they
But he's still a rat on paper, so that's tough to. I mean,
this is what
even
they
though-
say, right?
I mean,
they say that he went and
I get what
visited
you
He
the
got away.
I get what
With,
you're
he
getting
got
at,
away
though.
with murder. He was playing them.
This
Yeah.
is why they
Played
say that. Zanjulo says that Whitey visited him like 2 days before that, and that's when they bugged. He went into his office or something. But that
They weren't
just
seeing
sounds like a
Whitey.
big
They
force.
weren't seeing. They didn't have nothing to do with each other. If Whitey went to see him, he would have said, "Get the fuck out of here."
Maybe, yeah, they had
Get
beef
the fuck
for
outta
sure.
here.
The
What
Irish
are you
and the
doing
Italians
here?
did not get along. For real,
But them
especially
two in
Boston.
particular, like I don't want nothing to do with you. Like,
Yeah,
just like if it was the other way around.
yeah, because
We don't have
Whitey's
nothing to do with each other.
Whitey's more native.
I don't trust you.
Boston.
You don't trust me. Like,
Yeah,
you do your thing, I'll do my thing. Like, and they didn't need Whitey's information. They didn't have any information, anyways, to bug that garage.
I think it's something that's
just
everybody has
bugged him.
thought at some point in time that Whitey might have got a bad
No, I
rap.
think people just went with what they heard for 25 years and just believed it.
Right. But he wouldn't check in. He went right to the population in the federal fucking
And
penitentiary.
the same thing
Yeah.
at his trial. He didn't. He said, "Yous what? Yous are all ratting on me."
Right.
That's the one thing he said. Yous are all telling on me. What are you talking about? I didn't tell on any of yous. I'm not a rat.
Right. I mean, I don't
just
want to
used
sit
the
here and
top
stick up.
echelon.
I don't know.
I use the top echelon informant, but nobody has paperwork on Whitey Bulger.
Good night, bats. Sleep tight. Don't
Yeah,
let the
I'm
bed
about
bugs
to take
bite.
off myself,
And
too.
nobody,
I'm about to take off, so I got to get going.
and nobody
Okay,
ever
well,
has.
I
But
guess
But that's, you know,
it's literally 10 minutes till we close anyway, so probably a good time to get wrapping
I
it
gotta
up.
go bowling with the fam.
So
There we
John
go.
John's got to go bowling. Bobby's got to walk his dog. He's got to clean the car. You know, I'm getting ditched right now, but it's all right. I love you guys.
It's all
It goes
good.
so
We
fast.
love you too.
It does go fast. We're having a
Goes
blast,
fast.
dude. Honestly, it's fun doing
wait,
this
we
shit.
got big announcement.
Okay,
There we
Big
go.
announcement.
what is it?
So, I'm still looking.
Oh
for
yeah,
somewhere.
let's get it.
I mean, I would like to get a rental here or whatever you do here because I need a space.
Yep. I'll actually
But,
introduce you to the guy right now.
I need a name for the podcast. Me and the other gentleman are going over it this weekend.
Nice.
I
We're gonna
would.
meet, but my co-host. I have a co-host for my podcast. A lot of you probably know him. He has a very big social
Instagram.
media He's very big on social media. Jake Scally.
Yup.
So me and Jake Scally are gonna be
Should be an interesting dynamic
hosting
duo.
a podcast.
Oh, nice.
So that should be interesting, and hopefully a lot of you will tune into that.
Fact.
We'll have more about that. I am gonna be on Bean Shooters on Tuesday.
Okay, nice.
So we're doing things here. and
Nice.
I'll have more information on that Tuesday. So
Absolutely. And I'll be happy to have you and Jake come on
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
As a duo, you know what I mean?
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely.
Get y'all on there, promote that too. So
Yup.
big
So
salute
look
to
for
the
that,
chat,
man.
everybody too,
Yeah,
man.
definitely salute to the chat. Richard Dowling, man.
Brother.
Lot of Graham, Ain't Ignorant, Mike McQueen, Individual Entertainment,
McQueen.
Stevie, David Tottenham, my baby, Razor, Rocco, man. Everybody I've been down and done time with, bro. Stevie McQueen. I mean, Michael McQueenie, Lotta Graham. You know, just everybody, man. All you guys, man. Anybody who showed support tonight, definitely for the super chat, Doc Holiday, and everybody who sent a Cash App. That shit was fire. I appreciate you guys for showing up, man. Everybody who's still here, man, salute you guys. Make sure you guys pay attention because I'm dropping an interview real soon with Pat Shaughnessy and this dude's story. He survived the marathon bombing. He literally survived the marathon bombing by a fucking fate. Then he went on to before that, he went to prison in Cook County, Chicago. He went to prison in Florida, or jail anyway. Then he went to maximum security prison, Susan Baranowski in Massachusetts. The guy's story is incredible. He ran the marathon twice. The first time, they didn't let him finish because he almost died getting blown up from a bomb. And the stories that he's telling is just absolutely incredible. So I hope everybody will watch that soon as it drops. Appreciate you, man. Love you guys. Share my content. The W number. Ow!